Welcome to Esoterisphere. Angels. They're everywhere in pop culture. Glowing beings in white robes, guardians with halos, or fiery warriors with flaming swords. But here's the surprising thing. If you actually open the Bible, the number of times angels are mentioned and the details we're given are far fewer than you'd expect. Only a handful are even named. And yet, the stories that didn't make it into the Bible are even stranger, even more detailed, and often much more dramatic. Today, we're uncovering the missing stories of angels. The ones that hint at secret names, forbidden knowledge, and heavenly battles hidden outside the canon. Let's start where most people would, the Bible itself. Angels appear in both the Old and New Testaments, but their descriptions are often brief and mysterious. In Genesis, the first angels we encounter are the cherubim stationed at the gates of Eden, brandishing a flaming sword to keep Adam and Eve from returning. These aren't the baby-faced cherubs from Renaissance paintings. They're terrifying guardians, half-human, half-animal hybrids, unlike anything we see on Hallmark cards. Later, in Genesis 18, Abraham is visited by three mysterious men who deliver divine messages. Were they angels? The text hints at it, but never fully clarifies. In Genesis 32, Jacob famously wrestles a man until daybreak. Afterward, Jacob declares, "I have seen God face to face, and yet my life is spared." Some traditions see this figure as an angel, others as God himself. But either way, it shows how angelic encounters in the Bible are often ambiguous, shrouded in mystery. By the time we reach the prophets, angels become more distinct. In Isaiah 6, we meet the Seraphim, six-winged beings who cry, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord Almighty." These aren't gentle helpers, they're fiery creatures whose very voices shake the temple. Then in Daniel 8 and 10, we finally get angels with names. Gabriel appears to interpret Daniel's visions, while Michael emerges as a great prince, a heavenly warrior who fights on behalf of Israel. This is the closest the Old Testament comes to describing archangels. In the New Testament, angels play pivotal roles. Gabriel appears again, this time announcing the births of John the Baptist and Jesus. At the resurrection, angels are there to roll away the stone and proclaim the empty tomb. And finally, in the book of Revelation, angels fill the stage. 7 angels blow 7 trumpets. Angelic hosts pour out bowls of wrath. And Michael leads the armies of heaven in battle against the dragon. All of this sounds dramatic, but here's the thing, only 2 angels are named in the Bible. Gabriel and Michael. That's it. No Raphael, no Uriel, no long lists of angelic hosts. Which leads to a simple question. What happened to all the other stories? This is where things get really interesting. If we step just outside the biblical canon, into books like Enoch, Jubilees, and other ancient writings, we find that angels take on a much bigger, much stranger role. In the Book of Jubilees, written around the 2nd century BCE, angels aren't rare visitors. They're constantly involved in human affairs. Jubilees speaks of the angels of the presence and the angels of sanctification, higher orders of beings who serve God directly. It even credits angels with teaching Moses the proper calendar, emphasizing their role as keepers of cosmic order. Then we come to the Book of Enoch, which explodes the world of angels wide open. Enoch describes the Watchers, angels who descended to earth, mated with human women, and produced the Nephilim. But Enoch doesn't stop there. He names fallen angels like Azazel and Semyaza, who taught humanity forbidden knowledge. Weapons. Enchantments. Astrology. Even cosmetics. These aren't vague messengers, they're fully fleshed out characters with roles that shape human history. 2 Enoch, also known as the Slavonic Enoch, goes further, describing entire hierarchies of angels. Angels who guard the heavens, angels who oversee the stars, angels who record human deeds, and others who administer punishment. Suddenly, the spiritual world looks highly organized. A cosmic bureaucracy of light and fire. And in the Dead Sea Scrolls, we find visions of angels as cosmic warriors, fighting alongside the sons of light in apocalyptic battles. Here, angels aren't just messengers, they're an army, part of a vast spiritual conflict that mirrors the struggles on Earth. So why, if all of this rich tradition existed, do we only get Michael and Gabriel in the Bible? In truth, many ancient Jewish and Christian communities recognized a larger roster of archangels. The Book of Tobit, included in Catholic and Orthodox Bibles but not in Protestant ones, introduces us to Raphael, who heals the blind and protects Tobias on his journey. The Book of Enoch lists not just Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael, but also Uriel, who presides over the world and the luminaries. Later traditions expanded this to 7 archangels: Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, Raguel, Seraphim, and Ramiel. Each had a specific role, from guiding souls to punishing demons to overseeing natural forces. In 4 Ezra, another apocryphal book, Uriel appears again, offering Ezra visions of the end times and explanations of divine mysteries. Clearly, in the minds of many ancient believers, Uriel was just as important as Michael or Gabriel. But when the biblical canon was finalized, most of these names were cut. Why? Likely to simplify doctrine, to prevent people from venerating angels too much, and to keep focus on God rather than the intermediaries. Still, the fascination with angelic names never went away, which is why lists of archangels persisted in Jewish mysticism, Christian apocrypha, and even Islamic tradition, where Gabriel, Gabriel, and Michael, still play central roles. The canon gives us glimpses of angels, powerful but mysterious figures who serve God, deliver messages, and fight battles. But the missing stories from Jubilees, Enoch, Tobit, and other texts reveal something more. A belief in a vast spiritual hierarchy, where angels weren't just occasional messengers, but constant forces shaping history, guiding humanity, and waging war in the unseen realms. It tells us something important about human imagination. The Bible left angels mostly undefined, and people filled in the gaps. They wanted names, roles, battles, and hierarchies. They wanted to know not just that angels existed, but who they were and what they were doing. Even today, angels remain some of the most enduring figures in Western spirituality. Whether you picture them as protectors, warriors, or even rebels, their missing stories remind us how much was once believed, and how much was lost when the canon was narrowed down. So next time you hear about Gabriel or Michael, remember, they're just the tip of the iceberg. Hidden in apocryphal books and forgotten traditions are stories of angels who heal, who fight, who teach, and who fall. So, what do you think? Should more of these angelic stories have been included in the Bible? Or do you think the mystery is the point? Are angels meant to stay partly hidden? Share your thoughts in the comments. I love reading them. If you enjoyed this dive into the missing stories of angels, please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring the bell so you won't miss what's next. And remember, sometimes the greatest truths aren't shouted from the heavens. They're whispered by angels in the margins of forgotten books.